So do you ever look at a film made in the 2010s and think, why is this shot in black and white? I mean, we've got all these colours to choose from. Why toss us all out and think, oh, let's just go back to the 1910s, eh? No colour for me, thanks. No. Back in the day, with original film stock, that was the only option you had. You had your blacks, your whites, and every shade in between. And as the technology progressed, you had tinting of film where colour was added where there wasn't originally colour. So there definitely was an appetite to see colour film, and eventually colour film did become more and more mainstream. Even in the 60s it was virtually unheard of, and in the 70s no one was using black and white. Fun facts, the first colour film was A Visit to the Seaside, released back in 1908. The key differences between black and white and colour is in a colour image you have your saturation and your hue. You have all the various different colours that there are that you can see. But in a black and white image, you are just left with luminance, just a scale between blacks and whites. Contrast in black and white is usually achieved by having lights and darks. Now typically with a colour image you could have contrast of colours, but obviously not having that for black and white, you're just limited to luminance. In order to gain contrast, you have to achieve it with just luminance, as opposed to colour. You could achieve that through various different juxtapositions of colour next to each other, be it red or blue next to each other, or green and yellow. Black and white, it'd all appear a shade of grey. So if you had to guess which one was the red one out of this one and this one, what would you guess? Trick question, neither of them are red. You see a piece of footage of a wide and vast desert. Okay, if it was colour, you'd see, oh, you've got like the yellows, the oranges of the sand, and you can immediately think, okay, that's desert. With black and white, you look at that, you're seeing it for the first time without any context. Is it desert? Is it a field? Could it be an ocean? See, you don't know through looking at it without context. So that would lead you to search for that context yourself, to search the frame as you're watching it for various cues to say, this is a desert, this is a field, this is the ocean. But it's something to consider when drawing the audience's attention to things. Within the genre of film noir itself, the mood is often derived through harsh shadows. The whites and the blacks are truly white and black, and shadows are often manipulated to create that mystique that is often an unmistakable part of the film noir genre. Okay, alright, so it's what they used back then. Okay, and it worked quite well, and they used the tools they had very well for back in the day, which, fair play. But our tools have become better and we have more of the visible light spectrum to play with. Now, why would we choose to limit ourselves nowadays? Why choose black and white over colour? Reason number one, well, yeah, we all use colour, but using black and white, you immediately stand out in the crowd. Black and white is a surefire way to do that. It also, when filming, doesn't produce an issue with white balance or colour balance. In Christopher Nolan's 1998 film The Following, he cited this as a reason for using black and white film, because he didn't want the issues of outside and inside lighting with different colour temperatures, and instead he just wanted to focus on as few things as possible, considering he had a minimal crew. Another reason is film stock is typically cheaper. Films like 1968's Night of the Living Dead, that was shot in black and white mainly as a budget concern to save money. Another reason is it's a massive contrast to colour. Therefore, in films like Christopher Nolan's Memento, where the flashbacks were black and white and the flash forwards were in colour, having that juxtaposition worked because upon seeing it, you immediately knew where in the timeline you were. And probably the best reason why filmmakers use black and white is that it sets the time. You don't need a title card saying, oh yeah, 1952. You probably get it with the black and white and probably the clothes and the styles at the time, but black and white certainly will help in that. And despite what some people say, audiences aren't dumb, they're going to pick up on, this is 1950s black and white, yeah. In conclusion, like anything, it's a tool. Like as many things are from the past, where as our technology gets better and as our way of viewing things improves, sometimes the look of the old ways we always get nostalgic over. Maybe a little bit of film grain, maybe 4:3 aspect ratio, but I think the same would apply to black and white film. We get nostalgic for it, and that's often a look we try to replicate. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you soon. Like, subscribe. See you later.